Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. How you doing? I was a little bit distracted there to get things started, but we're here nonetheless and getting things off the ground and running the last community and finance for 2020. Wow, boy, who would have thunk it? How you doing? Everybody out there, how you doing? Big ups to you. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for checking in. Kicking it off tonight with a Leon Caldero. Leon Caldera says, I'll give you all kind of sugar. I will be your zaddy, your sweet sugar daddy. I want to say greetings and salutations to everybody locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Those are locked in across the pond, One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you over there. Big ups to the One Harmony Radio crew. Big ups to those on ClintonLindsay.com, the Foundation Radio Network. Y'all over there, I hope you're ready for Clinton talking to legendary actor Paul Campbell tomorrow. I'll have the follow-up chat. Very first live guest for 2021 will be Paul Campbell on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Yeah, I guess you could say he's gonna be doing the rounds. I want to say big ups to those on PEMGTV.com. Those on WGLRO, the home of the Donna Walker Morning Show, taking you from the sheets to the streets on the People's Station. Touching from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. I want to say big ups to all those locked in on Island Worldwide. Hey, family in New York, how's the weather? Of course, I want to say big ups to those who are already locked in on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew on the home of the night shift, kevinstew.com. Those of you locked in on Facebook Live, how you doing? Hey, Jada Nicole. Yeah, cold up there in New York. Hey, listen, there's still space in Florida, you know. Let's say big ups to those who are locked in on Facebook Live. Remember, it's only temporary. Use the link. kevinstew.com. It's in the description. But call a friend, tell a friend, share it with a friend. And when you're done with all your friends, introduce it to your enemies and their friends. And then the enemies of your friends. And work through it that way. Yeah, I won't be mad at you. But I'm glad that y'all could join me for the very last night shift on the last night shift to DJ Kevin Stew of 2020. You know, there are some things that you really want to get gone and done with. 2020 might be one of them. This is the sound of Leon Caldero. The track is called Zaddy. One say, I'll be your Zaddy, your real sugar daddy. Is that what we need in order to really survive 2021? After the challenges of 2020, do we need a sugar person? Whether it be a sugar mama or a sugar daddy? You know, how do we get through the new year? How have you gotten through 2020? I haven't done a lot of finance broadcasts this year, but still, finance is at the heart of everything that we do. Those of you that follow me on social media, you'd have seen where I shared a post from Paul Campbell about a project that he's working on, and there's a GoFundMe for it. Y'all can go check that out on the DJ Kevin Stew Facebook page, or you can look up Paul Campbell on social media and see where he has posted about it. You know, finance is at the core pretty much of everything that we do. So how are you with handling your finances? How are you with money? Are you bad with it? Are you good with it? At some point, according to MSN.com, at some point, many people may feel that they're bad with money. It's probably no surprise, considering that the average person is given very little guidance on how to be good with money. You know, it's not one of those things that is really taught in school. It's not one of those things that you get going through your daily conversations with your parents. The Island Worldwide family, I don't know if you guys, any of you got the talk. A part of the talk was, well, you live in this country, in the United States. One of the big things that you want to make sure that you have right is your credit. Do you have that talk? When you meet someone and you want to develop a relationship that goes beyond your friendship. Or even to take it a step further, if you're true friends, do you check on each other's credit? Pom pom pom. Mmm. Now you start thinking about your friends in a different way, right? Well, don't be too hard on them and don't be too hard on yourself. No matter what you do in life, managing your money is considered imperative to success. But as important as it is, money skills are not taught in many schools or learned from parents and family. Pretty much, you end up being left to figure it out yourself. And that, my friends, is a big part of the struggle. Self education can be difficult. There are many conflicting viewpoints that flood the internet. Information paralysis can make it even harder to even know where to start because it's just information overload. And there's so much information out there. You really don't know which ones, which sources to trust, which bits of information to go with. So pretty much you end up giving up before you begin. Maybe it's even part of the identity that you give yourself. You've decided having bad financial habits is a truth about your life. Scary, right? That mindset is not helpful to anyone. It's definitely not helpful to each of you that are hearing my voice right now. Big up Smarlan, host of Real Rockers on Reggae Global Radio and many other platforms, ClintonLindsay.com, the Foundation Radio Network, 25th Century Media. Listen, check out Marlon Borrell every Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. on various platforms. Look him up on social media, connect with him so you know where you can choose your favorite place to listen to Marlon. Big up Marlon, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for that musical journey just now. And reminding me of Little Kirk's birthday. Improving your relationship with money is something that is fully within your capacity. It is something that each and every one of us can do. And you're the only one that can make the change. No one cares about your money as much as you do. You could be in love some more, and someone could love you and worship you like no other. They don't care about your money the way you do. Here, there are some tips and tricks that can help with better money management for those that think they're bad with money. I guess it might help those that think they're good with money too. Pick a few, one or two, and take action. Taking action is where you get a start. You know, you start with a thought and then you act on that thought. So I'm gonna give you a few things to think about, and then it is up to you to take it from there. Now, in the quest to figure out if you're bad with money, sometimes the signs are really clear. Like getting multiple notifications for overdraft fees in 1 week. Sometimes being bad with money is less situationally obvious and is more of just a feeling you get. While it is different for everyone, the sense can manifest, this particular sense, it can manifest in anxiety, shame, or an inability to take action on simple money tasks. Now, when it comes to shame about money, this is why I asked the question about your friends earlier. If it's your friend, your real friend, then you can go to them about anything. And if you're having difficulty with money, one of the very first places that you would turn is to a friend, family or friend. Well, some of us are not friends with our family, so I guess friend is the way to go. So you should be able to open up to this individual or these individuals. So it's kind of a no holds barred thing. To help determine if you're considered bad with money, here are some bad financial habits that you can look out for. If you are engaging in one or more of these habits, it may be time to take some action. First off, living paycheck to paycheck. One telltale sign is that feeling that every week or month is a race to see whether you can make it to the next payday. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. But either way, it is anxiety inducing. One of the difficulties of 2020 is that a lot of people lost earning ability. Whether it is that the job closed down for a little while, or they lost their job totally as a result of the pandemic, scamdemic, any which way you want to place it, any which way you want to term it. People have lost out on income and finances ruined. People have gone bankrupt. So in 2020, a lot of people had, if they didn't start the year that way, a lot of people are ending the year living paycheck to paycheck. So there are a bunch of anxious people all over the world right now. Overdrafting your account is another. Sometimes the result of living paycheck to paycheck is finding yourself overdrafting your bank account, which often results in a harsh fee. The struggle, right? That cycle that seems to never end, and you can never quite find a way to get out of it. Paying bills late and missing bill payments, whether done knowingly or by accident, consistently missing bill payments and racking up those damning late fees is a hallmark of those struggling to manage their money. Debts are growing and staying at the same level. Well, and or you're making payments on your debts, but they're not getting any smaller. Maybe they're even getting larger. Ideally, debt balances would move in the other direction. So these are some things that you want to look out for to figure if you're bad with managing money. You're living paycheck to paycheck, you're overdrafting your account, you're paying bills late and you're missing bill payments, and your debts are growing or they're staying at the very same level. All right, again, 2020 has taught us that it is difficult to kind of balance the scales of debt because of how available funds are. There are some ideas for getting better at money management, whether you have a lot of it coming in or a little. They are broken down into some categories, being money mindset, budgeting, saving, and debt repayment. So let's look at money mindset first. A big piece of being good with money is having a positive and confident mindset. This is unlikely to happen right away and it takes ongoing work, but that doesn't mean that it is not important. So there are some ways to start thinking about money in a new light. Firstly, I wouldn't quite say that there's an order to it. But first on the list is confronting closely held beliefs. Spend some time dissecting the previously held beliefs you have about money. You learn a lot about money from a young age, that money is good or money is evil. That is one of the examples given. You know, and this is true. It's one of the things that we learn very early. Blessings, Hal Anthony. How you doing? Season's greetings, man. Now, some people may grow up believing that money is a scarce resource, while others understand money as a tool. There are many numbers of qualities that get assigned to money that are not objectively true. If you have major fear or shame regarding money, you may want to consider working through these emotions with a financial therapist. Yes, there is a therapist for that. Your feelings are valid. Take, understand that right off the bat. But that doesn't mean you have to live with them. We can work through that situation. You know, on Saturday when I did my Saturday show on Reggae Global Radio, I was talking with Sean Sonic, and he mentioned that a big part of his struggle with getting his material out and getting known in the music industry comes with finances, because marketing is a big part of doing all of that. Marketing takes money. So the struggle is real any which way you slice it. Integrating affirmations into your daily routine is something else that you can do. And this is one of the admittedly a bit hippy dippy, but you may find affirmations to be a grounding part of your day. And don't think that it only just works for money. Affirmations work through just about any aspect of your life. An example of an affirmation in this case would be, I am worthy of wealth. I am capable of managing my money. There's money out there to be made by me. No, it doesn't mean that you go out and you counterfeit money. No. There are ways to go out there and earn some money. And you start saying it, you start believing it. If you're not out there earning at the time, then you start saying it and you start believing it, you'll actually start doing it. It's amazing how that works. But these could help as helpful as reminders that you are in charge of your money and not the other way around. Then there's budgeting. Tracking your cash flows. Before you can even build a budget, you need to understand the money that is coming in and the money that is going out. There's no way to set reasonable budgeting categories without some understanding of your current spending patterns. What is it that you're spending your money on, basically? You may find it helpful to simply track your spending for a month or two, either by journaling, tracking in Excel, or using a service that hooks up to your bank accounts, giving you helpful snapshots into your spending. Some bank accounts actually have that ability. They have that built into their online banking, where you can see how you're spending your money. Now, it may sound like an obvious thing to do, but it's money management 101. It is ideal that you are not spending more than you're earning or bringing in. Now, to work towards a place where you are able to spend only money you have on hand, you need to know both how much money you have on hand and the categories where you're overspending. Then you need to find a budgeting method that works for you. Not one that works for me, or one that works for you. You're an individual, and what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. There are many ways to budget, and one is not necessarily more superior to another. It's all about finding a method that works for you. And when you find that method, stick to it. Budgeting is not hard per se, but it does require diligence. The challenge is making your chosen budget a part of your everyday life. That can be hard. Try taking it back to basics by using a cash-only budget. So you're using cash envelopes or doing zero-based budgeting. Any of these budgets can be used within the very basic budgeting framework of 50-30-20. What is that? Well, basically, it is the idea that 50% of your budget should go to necessities, 30% goes to fun spending, 20% goes to savings goals. And while this may be a helpful guide, you still need to enact a strategy within the framework. So basically, what you're looking at is finding something that can work for you. You might have to try out a few things and it may take you a few months. The idea here is to have in your mind the starting point and to go with that start. Because if you don't start somewhere, you're going to be constantly waiting and wishing and wanting. That's not what we're looking to 2021 to do. We want to say, all right, 2020 has been a struggle financially for me. What was I doing then? What can I change moving into 2021? Not saying you're going to be making resolutions, but definitely saying we're going to effect some changes. But we're not just going to do it all willy-nilly. We're going to effect these changes in a knowledgeable way. We're going to be strategic about it. Hey Shar, how you doing, cuz? Welcome to the broadcast. So, we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to look at the saving portion, the saving category, and how to get through that. And then we're going to look at or was saving the last category? Yeah, saving was the last category. Yeah. So we'll look at the saving category and then we move on from there. All right. Cool. So call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. This is where we also say sayonara to those on Facebook Live. Come on over to kevinstew.com for the remainder of the broadcast where we talk some money and see what we can learn and how we can help each other in doing better with our finances. Even if we did good with our finances in 2020, we can do better in 2021. And that way, we can help someone else. Quite possibly put ourselves in a position to even financially help someone else through 2022. You see, we're looking forward and we're looking at growth. But not just growth that we can sit down and laugh at everybody else and say, I grew, but you not growing. No, we want to grow so that we can help our neighbors, our friends, even our enemies grow. Because nobody wants enemies. So let's try to bridge some of those gaps and build some of those bridges so that we can move forward and help each other. Because no man is an island. We need each other to grow. All right? Cool. So we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. It's Community and Finance Night on the night shift with DJ Kevin. So you're looking at year-end finances. We'll be right back. Facebook Live, deuces.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
To raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first of its kind space
That all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly and
I learned
useless.
that I'm trash.
And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm pathetic
I learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today
I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick.
And in
And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
and in
In chemistry, I learned that no one
In
likes me.
biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in
I
math,
learned that I make people
I
sick.
learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today,
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it thing at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Wow, DJ Kevin Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin Stew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show.
When you grow older, what you want to become? Backus Entertainment. Make that be your challenge. Pay attention to your dream. Always know. True, we ambitious. Make them not like we. Them not go like we, cause we are go have things in a life. Get a youth for rich when they're rich. Take care of your family. Make sure your auntie and uncle, sister, brother, alright. Everyone forget a small slice. Time to advance. Write down your plans. green. When the three of them combine, make them no like we. Them not go like we, cause we all go have things in a life. Get a youth for rich when they rich. Take care of your family. Make sure your auntie and uncle, sister, brother alright. Everyone forget that smart slice.
The sound of Jadan. The track is called Time to Advance.
Write down your plan, execution, create solution. Time to advance. Write down your plan, get it to execution. Then create solution. Me a search for my goal, I'ma find it. Pass me a pen, make me sign it. Swipe and no swiping in and the cockpit.
Want to say thanks to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast.
To the Amazon, from the Amazon to the motherland, we are clear out everything around. Time to unfold.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist that comes to you operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties.
Create solutions.
Give her a call. She comes to you with her table and her oils and of course her Healing Heavenly Hands and over 20 years of experience. Her number is 954-655-9000. You can also email her at thealater@att.net.
When the three of them combine,
Outside of paying her, she only asks that you get off her table when she's done and go sleep somewhere else. Thank you, Althea. Appreciate love the support that you've been giving through 2020 and expect and look forward to you continuing to support in 2021. Much love and appreciation.
combine. Make them no like we. Them not go like we, cause we all go have things in a life. Get a youth for rich when they rich. Take care of your family. Make sure your auntie and uncle, sister, brother alright. Everyone forget that smart slice. Time to advance. Write down your plans, execution, create solution.
Time to advance. Write down your plan, have your execution. You see how that work? Yeah. How else are you going to move forward if you don't have a plan? You have to know what it is that you're moving forward to. That's a part of your plan. So, like I said, we are going to be looking at moving the savings portion. And that involves a few things. One of them is learning to say no. Most people cannot afford to buy everything they want. That's just a reality of being alive. And having relatively easy access to just about anything you could ever dream of buying. If you truly want to learn how to be better with money, you need to do some soul searching and figure out what it is that is really important to you. And when you focus and lock in on what is important, everything else, just say no. Now, what that will do is help you to avoid the damaging spending that you've been doing. Then there's considering automating your savings. Once you have graduated from being at risk of overdrafting your accounts, the next step is to automate your savings. That means setting an automatic flow of money from your checking account, whether or wherever it is that your money is deposited, and into accounts designated just for saving. And this can be done on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, a few days after your paycheck hits. Now, do not make saving a chore that you have to remember or to do once or twice a month. You're busy, you might forget. That's the reality. Let technology do the heavy lifting for you. Now that way, you can practice the good investor behavior of spending what is left after saving and not the other way around. If you've never moved a surplus of cash into a savings account after the month is through, it is time to find a better way. Now, I must admit, I am yet to move a surplus of cash after the month is through to a savings account, because everything is so tight for me. However, even with things being tight, I make sure that a portion goes to savings. That just goes without saying. It just go to savings. I am not thinking about it. I am not trying to do it. I'm not even going to that savings account. I am just working with making sure that my bills are taken care of, the primary things are taken care of. And what needs to go to savings goes to savings. Next month comes, let's go again. Boom, we're at it again. And the one of the other things that 2020 has done is it has taught us to be resilient. So we've gotten to points of hitting rock bottom, and we've gotten up, and some of us have hit rock bottom again, or hit rock bottom and then found a new bottom to hit after hitting that rock bottom. It happens. And 2020 has shown us that it can happen again and again and again. The next part of the savings, under the savings category, is earning money, earning more money. Do you feel like you're cutting back on spending as much as possible, but not getting anywhere with doing so? You may need to work on earning more money. There's a limit on what you can cut out, but there's no limit on what you can earn. And this could mean something different for everyone. Maybe this means sitting down with a boss and creating a path towards earning more money. This could entail taking on more responsibility or hitting certain numbers and metrics. For others, this could mean picking up a side hustle, whether related to a current career or not. Many bad financial habits are born from the easy access consumers have to their money, and to money that isn't theirs, more importantly. And the money that isn't theirs, that they have easy access to, they need to pay back, and pay it back with interest. So that leads us to the last category of understanding and paying down debts. Listing all your debts is what we're going to start with in this category. And the first step in conquering your debts is knowing exactly what you're up against. In a spreadsheet or on some other document, list out each source of debt you currently hold. This includes student loans, credit cards, car loans, and any other source of debt. Include the loan servicer, the size of the debt, the interest rate, and the amount and date of the monthly payment on each debt. You need to learn about interest rates. They're the cost of using someone else's money, usually the banks. They might not seem like a big deal, but interest charges can rack up quickly and can make a purchase much more expensive than the initial sticker price. To get an idea of how interest can impact how much it costs to borrow money, you might find it helpful to play around with interest rate calculators, such as a credit card interest calculator. You can find them online. here's an example of how expensive interest charges can be. Using an interest rate calculator, consider $1,000 charged on a credit card with a 16% fixed interest rate. If you make a $20 payment to the card each month, what you'll end up doing is paying an additional $659 in interest charges as you make those payments over the course of nearly 7 years. $1,000. So you end up paying $1,660 using a round figure. And this is assuming that you don't add any more money to the credit card while you're paying off the current balance. Now, basically what you're looking at here is getting out of credit card debt is hard work due to the interest charges along with the temptation to charge even more to the card. And more room on that credit frees up as the balance is lowered. And that incites or will spark an interest for you to spend just a little bit more. Now, while you're using the calculator, look at how much money you could have saved if you were paying off a loan or a credit card faster or by having a lower interest rate. Things that make you go, Now, making all monthly debt payments, but choose to focus on one. This may be the source of debt with the highest interest rate. Or you may opt for the smallest overall balance, giving yourself the psychological victory of kicking that source of debt to the curb. It doesn't really matter which method you choose, just choose one and get aggressive. Put extra money toward the balance of that debt. Get it out the way. And then move on to the next one. Get that out the way. Because, you see, once you get that debt out the way, then that interest goes away also. Now you can focus on using that same amount and you put it toward your other debt. The lower that principal gets, the lower the interest charges are. The faster you get to knock it off. Avoid charging more to credit. And of course, that can be a little bit difficult because you have the credit card available, and as you spend, you get some use back and you can spend some more. Getting better at managing your money is hard to do when you're adding to your credit card balance. Credit cards are notoriously difficult to pay back when you're only making, especially when you're only making the minimum payments. And nearly impossible if you're making minimum payments and adding to the balance. So keep that in mind. If you do have a credit card and you have a balance on it that you're paying off over time, think about doing things like applying a cash system as you're paying down that credit card. And then use that credit card only when it's an emergency until that card is paid off. And then when you're done paying that off, because the other part of this, is as you're paying down that credit card, you're building your credit history. And your credit score, granted that you're paying it down successfully, should be going up each time. The problem, and I've seen this even with my own, when you are late on a payment for whatever reason, you have set up an automated system and there's a glitch in the system, whatever it is. If you are late on a payment, the way that hits your credit score is ridiculous. So you've been doing well all year and you miss one. And it's like they throw the book at you. Now, call me a conspiracy theorist. The business of credit is not for you to have great credit. Think about it. That is DJ Kevin Stew opinion. Now, if you want to take that as gospel, you go right ahead. I'm not telling you to use it as gospel. My job is to stimulate your appetite, not to satisfy your hunger. So, with hearing me say that, you take that and you dissect it, or you nurture it and grow it. Whatever you choose to do with it, that is your choice. But for me, the credit business, or the business of credit, is for you to not have good credit. So I suggest you learn the business of credit so that you can have good credit. So what kind of tools are out there that can help with better money management? First of all, you need to understand that you don't have to understand or master the concepts right away. The concept that we were looking at just now, that we were talking about. Becoming a person who is good with money is a journey. Becoming a good person itself is a journey. So becoming a person who is good with money should also be a journey, which it is. Consider taking it step by step, starting with one area and then moving on to the next as you feel that you have mastered each concept. It's like riding a bicycle. First, you get the balancing thing going a little bit. Then you get the pedaling thing going. Then, now, when you get the pedal and the balancing thing going well, you can start to add other things. You know, letting go one hand, and then moving to no hands. You know, standing and doing tricks that comes along, but you do it little by little. One place to get started when it comes to managing your money, your finances, is getting organized and staying organized. And there are some tools out there that are good with that. First you want to do is to track down all your money, both assets and liabilities. Then you want to follow it up with a master list that includes all passwords, also considering storing those passwords in a secure place. Start building familiarity with your financial situation and look for small ways to improve it every day. You may find it helpful to take a look at accounts once a day or once a week as you are getting to know what your money looks like. And this may also help you to gain some understanding of your spending habits over shorter periods. All these little things, you put them together and you get one ginormous thing that can help you moving forward in managing your debt and becoming more financially stable. It's a struggle, it's a challenge, but it is not impossible. Little by little, we get through it. If you have a partner and you and your partner don't engage in some type of discussion about your finances, that could be a problem. Because you check the amount of, if you're married, check the divorce rates and then check the reasons for those divorces. And you'll find that a number of them come back to finance. So there's a bit of a struggle when it comes to finances and relationships. And it is not to say that that is the most difficult thing ever. No. It is to say that is something worth working on because it's a challenge. So what do we do with our challenges? Do we cower and we run from them? Or do we say, all right, I am going to face you. I am going to defeat you. How do you work with your challenges? Today we're looking at the challenge of our finances and staying in control of where they go, managing it well. It's a struggle, but it's doable. We're going to take a quick little break again, and when we come back, we talk some more. We'll be right back. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents international recording artist Ed Robinson's new single, One of the Poorest People. This is a hot one, available November 15th, 2020.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the Night Shift. Don't move.
Words are spoken, there's nobody to hear. Nobody to hear. Just came to tell myself I'm not a fool. I can take the moon and spin it round in circles
sound of Mr. Ed Robinson. The track is called One of the Poorest People.
And memory.
I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast. Funny enough, Reggae Global Entertainment produced this track.
I'll justify the reason. Can't be wrong, must be right. Must be right.
Reggae Global Entertainment will act as your booking agents, take care of your tour management,
Can have the world and not grow old.
handle your copyrights, publishing, trademarks, business registration, legal service referral, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Give them a call, 954-998-8034, or visit them online, reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
I ask myself, what can this feeling be? As I wipe the tears, it becomes so clear that I'm one of the poorest people. Yes, I am one of the poorest people. I am one of the
Don't feel bad, Ed.
poorest people.
I'm one of those poor people too.
In love with someone in love. I got no one. I am one of the poorest people.
Anybody feel sorry for me?
I am one of the poorest people.
Who can help me out of my poverty?
I am one of the poorest people.
Yeah, don't feel no way, you know. We can get out of it. We don't have to revel in it. We don't have to be confined to it. We can grow out of it. We don't have to remain one of them poor people who is not in love. All right, so how was your holiday season? How did the shopping work out for you? The 2020 holiday shopping season has actually put many people in debt. Really and truly, I'm not sure how it is they end up getting into debt with the shopping season, considering that COVID already put them in debt. So to end up in debt because of the shopping season, that's like mind blowing for me. But people ended up in the red, as per a recent survey from Lend EDU. And they are saying that 63% of Americans said they were taking on a record amount of credit card debt this year. Big surprise. A statistic that isn't surprising at all, given the havoc of ongoing coronavirus pandemic and subsequent recession. All these things have brought on many people's financial health problems. If you find yourself with big balances due in January, there are some steps that you can take to expedite eliminating them. And what we're going to do is to look at some ways to pay down some of those debts for those that ended up somehow, some way in massive debt going into 2021 from getting through 2020's shopping season. Not that 2020 and all that happened with job losses and all that affected your financial health. No, the shopping is what affected you. We're going to see if we can help you out. So, just like we were talking about just now, we want to assess the debt. Total the amount of debt you're carrying across the credit cards and other financing. Identify the interest rate with each balance so you can decide on a repayment strategy. Whether you want to get the smaller balance taken care of first or the larger balance with a higher interest rate, whichever way you want to work it out. Figure out a way you want to do it. Aim to pay more than your minimum. What you want to do is minimize the amount of interest that you're accruing on credit card balances as you pay them down. Now, fortunately, there are a few options for prioritizing payments. So you want to go ahead and, number them, list them out, your debts. You can start a debt avalanche, which seems pretty interesting to me, actually. If you have balances on multiple cards, you may be able to expedite your way out of the red by utilizing the debt avalanche method. List your debts in order from the highest to the lowest interest rate. Interest rate, not balance, but interest rate. Sarah Ratner, credit card expert and personal finance website NerdWallet, explains that you make minimum payments on all of them each month while you pay a little bit extra to the debt with the highest interest. Once you pay that off, begin to tackle the debt with the next highest payment, interest. And so you end up knocking them off that way. It's just ways to consider when you're taking on, if you have taken on debt this Christmas season from your spending. There is the toss a debt snowball. The debt snowball method involves paying down your smallest debt first while making the minimums on all others to give yourself a psychological boost as you work your way out of debt. So it's the other way around. The avalanche, you tackle the one with the highest interest that is being accrued. You knock that off and then you move on to the next. That's the avalanche. The snowball, guys, if you visualize it, you'll get it, right? So the snowball, it starts small and then grows big. The avalanche, it pretty much starts small and then grows big too. But the idea with the avalanche is that you see the big thing coming and then it gets smaller as the avalanche dies down. Right? Cool? You get it? Cool. So Jason Kruger, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial in Madison, Wisconsin, asked the question, how do you eat an elephant? It seems like a mammoth task, right? Well, one bite at a time. So basically that's the snowball effect. You're paying off the smallest debt and then your list becomes more manageable because you knock something off. Another thing you could do is consider a balance transfer credit card. If your credit is in good shape, you want to consider opening a balance transfer credit card, which allows you to transfer high interest balances to a new card that has a 0% APR for a set period of time. Even 0% interest helps you to bring down your balance. The best balance transfer cards feature 0% introductory balance after APRs that often last a year or more, providing plenty of time to knock out your holiday debts without incurring interest charges. This says Mason Miranda, credit industry specialist with finance site Credit Card Insider. Now, do note, you generally pay a fee to transfer a balance. So, do the numbers, compare them to make sure that you'll come out ahead. If not, stay with what you have and work through that. You can possibly negotiate a lower interest rate also. If you cannot qualify for a new transfer balance, call your credit card issuer or issuers to see if they might lower your APR. Some might be willing to do so if you have a history of making payments on time. So it goes back to having a good relationship with your creditor. Because, of course, it's something that grows over time. You might also want to look into debt consolidation loans. Some personal loans offer lower interest rates than credit cards. So if you're dealing with a particularly high APR, it might be worth looking into whether you can consolidate your balances into one monthly payment. Again, you want to read the fine print to make sure that it is in your best interest, literally. Because it might look good on the surface, but when you dig a little bit deeper, you realize that you have dug yourself deeper into a trench. So be careful. Try boosting your credit score. You can potentially qualify for better financing offers from current and prospective lenders by improving your credit score. And you can possibly get a boost by paying down high credit card balances. Again, it is understood that it's something that you're working on, but that might be the focus that you channel all your energy. That might be your focal point. And making all payments on time and disputing errors on your credit report can also help. So, take those things into consideration. Every little bit helps to make a difference. Right? You can access your credit reports from major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, from up until April 2021. I believe each week you can access it for free. So you can access it one time. But there are apps that can help you to track your credit. If your bank offers the option of looking at your credit, you can possibly do so without it affecting your credit report, your credit score. So it's not a hard inquiry. So it doesn't affect your credit score that way. No matter what debt payoff strategy that you decide to utilize, it is a good idea to set up autopay on all your accounts so you don't inadvertently miss a payment and incur unnecessary interest or late payment fees, or both. So that is something else that you want to consider. Set up your monthly payment to cover your minimum payments plus the maximum that you can possibly afford to send. Todd Christensen, education manager, and at Money Fit by DRS, a non-profit debt relief agency, is the one that gave that bit of information, that bit of advice. And that is good advice because, again, people forget things. There's a lot going on. It's not just that you're focusing on paying down this debt. You have other things that you're focusing on also. You have life. And life happens. Things take up your time. Of course, it helps if you can make more than one credit card or loan payment each month. There are some ideas on how you can generate more dollars to put towards your debt as you go along also. File your 2020 taxes. There are some people that choose not to file taxes. I don't know why. I've heard of some people that haven't filed their taxes in 3 to 5 years. That is something a concept that I'm yet to get a grasp of. Even still being new to the United States and how the way they operate. Not filing your taxes. I would think that's a thing that you just do. Tax time comes around, you file your taxes, you move along. Boom, boom, boom. But apparently that's not quite the case all the time. But they're suggesting file your taxes. That way you can use whatever refund you receive to pay off remaining credit card balances. Well, that is if you are getting a refund. Now, if you're not getting a refund and you have debt, that is a problem. You might want to do some deep soul searching and deep financial searching on to look on what you're doing. If you are entitled to a big refund this year, there's a possibility that your employer is taking too much money out of your paycheck. There is an IRS tax withholding estimator that you can use to check if a new W-4 is necessary. Look into these things because they make a difference. Now, if it just so happens that you are getting a large refund and you made it through the year just fine, it might be okay to just leave it as it is and keep doing what you're doing. At least you know your taxes are covered. I'm just saying, not everyone can do it. If you can do it, go with it. You might want to take advantage of some other potential windfalls that may come your way. If you receive a holiday bonus, put that money towards your debt. Every little bit counts. If you're truly drowning in debt, consider tapping a credit counselor. Not that you're going to, you know what I mean, but connect with one. Some non-profit organizations and credit unions offer the service at little to no cost. So get a credit counselor and see how you can move from there, from the position that you're in. And telling yourself you did something wrong with your money will never be an effective way to stop you from doing it again. So don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah, you want to be real with yourself, but don't be too hard on yourself. Making sure you're aware you spent too much and trying to give yourself grace during that pandemic, that's a smarter way to go. But killing yourself about it, you've already done it. You cannot undo it at this time unless you have the whatever it is that you spent your money on and you can return it, get your money back. Then that's kind of an undoing of what you did before. But for the most part, you just kind of have to move along. If you have discretionary spending, stop. Just stop it. Easier said than done, yeah, but it's important. Commit to a 30-day no spending challenge, then use the money you saved to apply it to your holiday debt. Things to consider along the way of dealing with this holiday debt that you have incurred. Again, it may not, you may be able to return some of the things that you bought, because some of them might be for you. So return it. Get your money back. And the ones that you cannot return, use that money that you got back to pay those down or pay them off. If you struggle with impulse shopping, then you might want to consider some drastic measures. Hide your credit cards and store cards. You can't hide it because then you know where it is. It's not effective hiding of it. Have a family or a family member or a friend hide it for you. Now, it might seem crazy because now you have an emergency and you need that card to do whatever. Well, with the exception of that family friend or that family member dying, they'll know where the card is. Delete your credit cards from your digital wallets and online shopping accounts so you won't continue to use them while you're trying to pay them off. Those who do have digital wallets, you might want to remove the temptation. I said this earlier in the broadcast. I'll say it again. Switch to cash. Studies have found that people spend less when they do so with paper. Because you know how much paper you have in your hand, in your wallet, in your purse, in your wherever. Switch to cash. And when you're done with that cash, apply a cash mentality to your credit spending. Audit your bank and credit card statements. That way, you have a handle on how much money you need for non-discretionary spending like rent, utilities, groceries. A statement audit will also help you identify potential money wasters. So consider those. Get a better idea of how much you're spending on non-discretionary items by drafting a budget. And you can use a simple spreadsheet or a budgeting app to get started with that. It doesn't have to be anything detailed or crazy. You can do those simple things and then take it from there and just grow. Because again, the objective for each year is to grow a little bit more than you did the last. And if you ended up spending a lot more than you should have this holiday season because you're buying gifts for friends and family members, listen, I didn't expect to get anything for Christmas because this has been a tough year on people I know. Well, the majority of them anyway. Those who, out of tradition, would do the whole gifting thing, I suggest to you that you think about that tradition and think about the situation that you're in moving forward. Because if you're going to let tradition dictate whether or not you end up in debt, then that's a problem. Traditions can change. That debt is going to stick around for a while because it's one of the harder things to get out of. Unless there's a major change that you can make. And let's face it, the job market is really tight, especially now. So I don't know how you're gonna work it out, but I suggest you start with what you can control, your spending. And if traditionally you are going to be spending just because that is what you do at Christmas, you buy gifts and you have to outdo the gift that you did last year. Think about what is important. Is it the relationship that you have or the gift that you give to maintain that relationship? And now you know exactly where you stand with those family members or friends. It's basically what you can give. And, that is kind of sad.
How you vibe music, no, jump rising. Set the most I bless us so now I got left us so yes.
This is how we close out this night of community and finance. It's called musical therapy. Now it doesn't really matter what kind of struggle that you have ended up in financially, that is. If you approach it with the mentality that you cannot be held down by it, then you'll be better off getting through it. This is the sound of Little Kirk using his given name, Kirk Davis. I want to say happy Earth Date, Mr. Davis. Little Kirk celebrating his Earth Date today.
can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Can't hold I down. But this a serious thing, this a no me bigger down. Can't hold I down. No, no, no. I will like him clear right path right and now some men not just a shadow yes of the dark. Yeah, him give me a clean hands and a pure in heart. Me up it from the start again. Me out it clean like a whistle devil. Walk away no will no shine and will make listen there. None of this one of the most like children but on the ball. And the whole of no listen. Can't hold I down. You see the most like alone I give my way the triple crown, yeah. Them can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound, yeah. Can't hold I down. Well, this a serious business and no me go brown, yeah. Can't hold I down. Can't hold I down, no time at all. We've been through the storm, through the rain. Thank you for blessing me again. We tried it on the street, we run it through the lane. I will up your gunshot and let's walk it on the main, yeah. Father, you carry me through. Well, many I call about the chosen of you. Me no know who are you. What if you have no clean, someone who can't go through? We don't tell them can't hold I down. You sit the most and alone, I give my way the gentle crown, yeah. Them can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound, joy. Can't hold I down. Well, this a serious business and I'm gonna down. Why, yeah, mama, oh, yeah. Say, though I want you, the valley of the shadow of death. I say, I am night shall fear not again. God, Jack is with me, it's rough than this time. I know shall rock you, you know, Jack shall protect. You're not getting dead, them can't hold I down. You see the most I alone, I give my way the temple crown, yeah. Them can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound, joy. Can't hold I down. Well, this a serious business and now maybe go down. Can't hold I down. I will lock him clear right path right and now so we're not just a shadow yes of the dark. Yeah, him give we a clean hands and a pure in heart. We up it from the start, then blocks again. We are it clean like a whistle devil. Walk away no will no shine and will no blessing there. One of these one of the most I children want thunderball. And the whole of no listen. Them can't hold I down. Only the most I alone I hear my way the triple crown, yeah. Can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Them can't hold I down. Well, this a serious thing.
I want to say thank you to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast.
Rise up, yeah.
GMAT Music Solutions provides sound, light and stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, DJs, bands, singers, musicians. They bring your events to life. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Or you can check them out online at gmatmusicsolutions.com. Thank you, GMAT Music Solutions. Just get them a call, link them online, and mention the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Yeah? Cool. This is Novelty. Jack called Keep It Moving.
The enemy comes like a flood. Give praise to the Most High and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Yes, when they come with the negative vibe, hold your head high, smile, smile, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Yes, they never succeed, but look the naysayers in the eye, just smile and keep it moving. Keep it moving. When the Father says yes, nobody can say no. So keep it moving with a positive flow. Left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Oh, left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving with a positive flow.
Amazing trumpet work there by Novelty's husband, producer Howard Perry Ricketts. He just has this beautiful tone.
Hold your head high and smile and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Let's go. Left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Left, right, 1, 2. Left, right, 3, 4. Keep it moving. With a positive flow.
Life as it ups, as it downs, you get me on my knees. When you lift me up,
This is the sound of Hezron. For all the Hezites out there, it's called Stronger in Love.
better with me through the rough and the tough. And you never said you had enough. You took away my heavy load and shared it to you.
For those of you just joining in, this is Musical Therapy.
Guaranteed much.
Closing out tonight on Community and Finance in the night shift with DJ and Kevin Stew.
Overflow the cup, baby. With your love, your love, your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. Your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. In love, it's your love, it's your love. Stronger and stronger in love. At times, my friend would ask, how do you find the will, the strength to keep on going? And I would smile to myself, if they only knew the things we both know. Is your love, your love, your love keeps me stronger and stronger in love. Your love, your love keeps me stronger and stronger in
The sound of the freezing China Nicole.
starts to quiver. The power of true love is
track called I Do.
Our perfect love is perfect. And even with my pride, there's no regrets. And I've decided I'm gonna love you more and make it last forever. You know, I do love you. I do.
I love you too, Jan and Nicole.
I do. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Baby, I've decided that I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you, baby. You make me smile again, breathe again, knowing this will never end. Whoa, yeah. You make me dance again, sing again, love again, 'cause our loving has no end. I do love you. I do love you. I do. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Baby, I've decided that I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Love you, baby. Since you've been away, my life hasn't been the same without you. Oh no. Since you've been away, everything seems out of place. My heart won't let me love another. I forgive your mistakes, please stay. 'Cause I do love you. I'm gonna love you, gonna love, I'm gonna love you, yeah. I do. I do. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Baby, I've decided that how many times must I hear it? Just won't work. I don't care what they say, you know I'll always choose you first.
New music coming at you.
There's no me without you.
It's called the Sweet Thoughts Rhythm.
Breathe without you. This kind of love is worth fighting for. And honey, I promise loving you is my priority.
This track is called Priority.
Never giving up, no.
Artist goes by the name Shamika.
Loving you,
Courtesy of Kevin Gates Production.
your love is like food to my soul. There's no way that I can let go. Just a kiss from your lips, nothing sweet like this. Give me more and more. And baby, you're my sweetheart. We got this love of a lifetime. Can't let this good thing go. No. And baby, I promise loving you is my priority. You know I'll never let you go, never giving up, no. I promise, loving you is my security. Yeah, yeah. Where would I be without you? It's just you and me I'm after. I'm never letting this good thing go. No, 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 no. Where would I be without you? It's just you and me I'm after. I'm never letting this good thing go. No, 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 no. It's going on. Promise. Loving you is my priority. You know I'll never let you go, never giving up, no. I promise. Loving you is my
I want to say thank you to all the affiliates. ClintonInternet.com Foundation Radio Network. WGLRO.
I don't care what they say.
One Harmony Radio.
Choose you first.
PEMGTV.com. Island worldwide. Remember, on the various platforms, programming continues when I get off. This track is called Priority. Artist goes by the name Shamika.
I'm gonna love you hard because you're mine. I'm gonna love you as far as the sea goes.
This is La Vie. It's called Sweetheart.
You love me too, but you've got to let me know. 'Cause there's a part of me to you I wanna show. Yeah. 'Cause you are my sweetheart, so perfect for me. You are my sweetheart, and I am your queen. Why keep searching for something I know I wouldn't find when you've been right here in front of me all this time? I'm telling you this now so you could understand that loving you is easy. I'm sure that you're the one, the one. 'Cause you're my sweetheart, yeah. So perfect for me. You are my sweetheart, and I am your queen. Our love has grown further than the eye can see. Didn't know it was possible to create a mix as strong as you and me. This love is sweeter, 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 sweeter than honey. Your love makes me so happy. 'Cause you are my sweetheart, yeah. So perfect for me. Yeah, you are my sweetheart, and I am your queen. Ooh, I love to see you play.
This is Anne Marie. Correction. Alicia Marie.
Baby, I wanna know.
It's called Play Me. Yeah, she doesn't really go by Anne Marie anymore.
The way you move me, the way you move me, you got the feeling in the mood. No lie, would you caress me? Take time to undress me. Would you play me the same way? Lately, every time I would see you play, I feel you move a certain way. And there were many times I would imagine that you would play me the same way. Yeah. The way you move me, the way you groove me, you got me feeling in the mood. No lie, would you caress me? Take time to undress me. Would you play me the same way? I can tell you had passion. I seen it.
Can imagine if we played our finances with that kind of passion.
Back and forth, back and forth.
I mean, play the growth of our finances,
On that
not the spending of it.
passion to transfer into my life. It's me and you tonight.
Anybody that passionate about their finances?
The way you move me, the way you groove me, you got me feeling in the mood. This is no lie, baby. Would you caress me? Yes. Take your time and undress me, Wish I could heal you. Wish I could take all your pain away. There's nothing I won't do.
This is Fiona.
To get to your
It's called Shoulder.
shoulder to lean on. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I can make miracles. No, I can save you from your fears, but I can love you and show you things will be alright. Whenever you're ready, I'll be by your side. Oh, sorry. She put you through all the things she did. She was so selfish. There was just taking and no give, no consideration. She said you did nothing for her life. She's such a bully, dictating your movements every time. Yeah. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I can make miracles. No, I can't save you from your but fears. I can love you and show you things will be alright. Whenever you're ready, I'll be by your side. Oh, she has no problems moving on without you. Already got him on her arm so soon. She's not even thinking about your feelings. I'm here to help 'cause I'm believing. Shoulder to lean on. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Whenever you make miracles. No, I can't save you from your fears, but I can love you and show you things will be alright.
8 minutes before the top of the hour. 8 more minutes before I get on out of here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your contributions.
All your pain away. There's nothing
Remember, I'm back here tomorrow.
to help you get to your
We do the last Healthy Love segment of 2020.
put you through all the things she did. She was so selfish.
Yeah, it's a week of lasts, you know? This is that tune from SDS that put them on the map. Sensational dynamic sound, Shauna Dazzle, Suzanne Sultry, and Dottie. Their rendition of A Woman in Love.
It's the same old story. You care, but you don't love me. And I know it still hurts to hear the truth. Don't expect me to forget you. I love you, and I can't hold back the love I want to give to you. I know it isn't easy. I understand you're leaving, and I'm happy just to see you when I can. Do you understand my reasons? I love you, and a woman in love loves only one man. Just give me love when you can. If you need me, a woman in love will understand. I'll give you all that I have. Completely, a woman in love needs only one man. So don't be sorry, baby. I guess you think I'm crazy, but to be there when you want me is enough. I'm not a child, I'm a woman. I love you, and I'll always be around when you need a woman's love.
Thank you much, Jar.
So you see, it's the same old story. You care, but you don't love me. Though I know it still hurts to hear the truth. I'm no child, I'm a woman. I love you, and I'll always be around when you need a woman's love. Just give me love when you can. If you need me,
long, long time since I've embraced someone like you.
This is Lady Tia.
Never knew this love existed before.
Track called Bring It On.
You make my heart skip several beats. Yes, you swept me off my feet. Head over heels in love, and there's no retreat. You can tell by the way you see me glow that my love has overflowed. The vibes I feel right now, it's all because of you. Said you wanna wrap me up and keep me warm. Give me good love from dusk till dawn. I'm ready, baby. Just bring it on. Come take my hand and let us go to where we've never been before. You and me, baby, lost in ecstasy. Whisper sweet words in my ear. Show me how much you care. Just keep on holding me. Let's live out this fantasy. You can tell by the way you see me glow that my love has overflowed. The vibes I feel right now, it's all because of you. Said you wanna wrap me up and keep me warm. Give me good love from dusk till dawn. I'm ready, baby. Just bring it on. Just bring it on.
Alright, I have time for one more to squeeze in, just one more. So let me do it like this.
Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday.
This is Marcia J. Ball. And this is how I leave you tonight. See y'all, take care. Be safe.
Lovers holiday.
It's called Lovers Holiday.
Lovers holiday.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you good night. Catch tomorrow, 10 till midnight. Healthy love right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
No way. You beg me to stay.
Y'all take care.
It's too hard for me to change these conditions. I've got to get away. Oh, lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. Day in, day out. All I hear is just your nagging mouth. Yeah. Come rain, come shine. Boy, it seems you wanna blow my mind. Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. Day in, day out. All I hear is just your nagging mouth. Yeah. Come rain, come shine. Boy, it seems you wanna blow my mind. I packed my bags before, changed my mind from walking out the door. I've proved that love is blind. I'm gonna leave before I change my mind. Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. Lovers holiday. I'm going on a lovers holiday. Lovers holiday. Let me go, let me go. I said that I'd be going away.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.